Hello everyone. Welcome to Textbook to Classroom CS. In today's video, we are going to start with a very important topic in computer science, that is DBMS or Database Management System. Now, many students study DBMS from standard textbooks, but sometimes the language in the textbook may feel a little formal or difficult to understand. So, in this video, we will understand the basic introduction of DBMS in a very simple classroom style. Before going deep into technical concepts, first we should understand one simple question: why do we need a DBMS? In our daily life, we see data everywhere. A college stores student details, a bank stores customers and the transaction details, a hospital stores patient records, and an online shopping website stores product and other details. So, wherever there is an organization, there will be data. But storing data alone is not enough. We should be able to store it properly, search it easily, update it correctly, and protect it safely. That is where a DBMS becomes important. So, in this video, we will slowly understand what a DBMS is, why it is needed, and what are the main responsibilities of a database system. Now, what is a DBMS? Now, let's come to a basic definition. A database management system, or simply DBMS, is a software system that helps us store, manage, and retrieve data in an organized way. Okay, let me explain this in very simple terms. A database is a collection of related data. For example, in a college, the database may contain student details, staff details, subject details, marks, attendance, fees details, and so on. All these are related to the college. So we can say this collection of data which belongs to one organization or one particular enterprise. Now, a DBMS is the software that helps us work with this database. It allows us to add new data, view the existing data, update data, delete data, and search for required information. For example, if you want to find the marks of one particular student, we should not manually search through hundreds or thousands of records. The DBMS helps us retrieve that information quickly and efficiently. So, the main idea is a database stores the data, and the DBMS, that is Database Management Systems, helps us to manage and access that data, and DBMS acts like a bridge between the user and the database. Now, you may ask, why do we need DBMS? Why can't we just store data in files, Excel sheets, or in notebooks? Yes, for very small data, we can store it in a file or spreadsheet. But when the amount of data becomes large and when many people need to use the data at the same time, sample files are not enough. Let us take a college example. Suppose student details are stored in one file, marks are stored in another file, attendance is stored in another file, and the fees details are stored somewhere else. Now, if you want to get the complete details of one student, we have to search in many places. This is time consuming as well as it's confusing. Also, if a student changes their phone number, we may have to update it in many different files. If we update in one place and forget to update it in another place, then the data becomes inconsistent. A DBMS helps us avoid these problems. It provides a proper method to store data, organize the data, and retrieve data easily. It also supports large amounts of information and helps many users access the data in a controlled way. So we need a database management system, that is DBMS, because it makes data management convenient, efficient and reliable. Now, let us understand what type of information a database can hold. A database can store any information that is important for an organization. For example, in a college database, we can store student names, roll numbers, departments, subjects, marks, attendance, exam results, and fee details. In a bank database, we can store customer details, account numbers, balance, deposits, withdrawals, loans, and transaction history. In a hospital database, we can store patient details, doctor details, appointments, prescriptions, lab reports, and billing details. So, the type of data depends on the organization. The important point here is that the data stored in a database is not random. It is usually related to a particular purpose or enterprise. For example, if we say a college database, then the information inside the database should be related to that college. If we say a bank database, then the information should be related to banking activities. So, a database is not just a storage place, it is a meaningful collection of related data. Now, let us see the main work of a DBMS. The first work of a DBMS is storing data. It stores data in a structural way so that it can be used later. The second work is retrieving data. That means whenever we need some information, the DPMS should help us get it quickly. For example, if a teacher wants to know the attendance percentage of a student, the DPMS should retrieve that information easily. The third work is updating data. Data is not always fixed. It keeps changing. A student address may change. Marks may be updated, fees may be paid, or a new subject may be added. The DPMS helps in making these changes properly. The fourth work is organizing the data. If the data is not organized, it becomes difficult to use. A DBMS defines proper structures such as tables, rows, and columns to store data nearly. The fifth work is data manipulation. Manipulation means performing operations on data. For example, inserting new records, deleting old records, modifying an existing record, and searching for specific records. So, in simple words, DBMS helps us store, arrange, access, and modify data in a systematic way. Now, this is a very important part of DBMS. A DBMS may contain very important information, for example, bank data, hospital records, college marks, company salary details, and so on. So, the DBMS must protect the data. First, the DBMS should protect data from system failures. Sometimes a computer system may crash, power may fail, or some error may occur. Even in some situations, the DBMS should try to keep the data safe and recover if it is needed. Second, the DBMS should protect data from unauthorized access. That means not everyone should be allowed to see or change all the data. For example, in a college, a student may be allowed to view their marks, but they should not be allowed to change their marks. A teacher may enter marks, but a student should not have that permission. So the DPMS provides security and access control. Third, the DPMS should support data sharing. In real life, many users may access the database at the same time. For example, in a railway reservation system, many people may try to book tickets at the same time. If the system is not managed properly, wrong results may happen, like the same seat being booked for two people. A DBMS helps avoid such problems by managing multiple users carefully. So, a good DBMS must provide safety, security, and correct sharing of data. Now, let's quickly summarize what we have learned in this video. A DBMS is a software system used to manage a database. A database, which is a collection of related data, for example, student data in a college, customer data in a bank, or patient data in a hospital. The main goal of a DBMS is to store and retrieve information in a way that is convenient and efficient. A DBMS helps in storing, accessing, updating, and organizing data. It also protects data from system crashes and unauthorized access. Another important role of a DBMS is to allow multiple users to use the data safely without creating confusion or incorrect results. So, overall, we can say that DBMS is very important whenever large amounts of information need to be stored, managed, and protected. In the next video, we will continue with the next top concept in DBMS and understand it step by step. So thank you for watching Textbook to Classroom CS. In the next video, we will learn the next DBMS concepts in a simplified and clear way. Thank you.